Lords, it's my pleasure to open the debate today, especially on this group of absolutely essential amendments that really go to the heart of making this bill fit for purpose. We must all know that currently the bill just does not have any bite. We're going to have all these lovely environmental principles floating around, but absolutely no real duties on the government other than having due regard. Due regard is a get-out clause. Ministers can easily have due regard for something and then make a completely opposing decision. And they know it, and that's why they've chosen this wording. And I would argue it's wheezily, squirming, and not actually, I would say, worthy of any government that takes the environment seriously. My Amendment 73 would rectify this by requiring ministers, public bodies and authorities to all actually stick to the environmental principles. This is a clear requirement, and so when they don't stick to those, then those decisions will be judicially reviewable, and that's how things should be. It's a simple amendment, and it's got in it just real clarity, I would say, because we all know what the environmental principles are. My Amendment 75 fleshes out the environmental principles so that they reflect a much broader set of principles written in simple, understandable language. For example, the precautionary principle and polluter pays principle are actually explained and defined. Then we add things like using the best available scientific knowledge, the principles of public participation, and the principle of sustainability to take into account the health of present generations and the need of future generations. And these two amendments taken together would create an accessible blueprint for our country and for the planet. They would set out the clear environmental principles on which our future will be founded and require, not simply invite, the government to implement those principles in all areas of policy. This is the type of legislation that a Green government would implement. These are the principles that we would apply, and these are the ways in which we would make ourselves accountable to Parliament, to the courts, and to future generations. I beg to move.